But is it safe? That's the question. What's up, guys? I hope you're awake out there. If not, you might be awake after this. So I'm just a small business owner, normal guy trying to find the truth out about health and masks and safety because I have people that we're trying to make decisions about. And we had some people that said that we should just force everybody to wear masks so that we make everybody happy, right? Even though a lot of people don't want to wear the masks. So I'm like, well, what does the science say? I mean, as you go out there and research, there's not a lot of good science that shows that we should wear masks. There's probably more indicating that we shouldn't, you know? So I'm like, well, that's confusing. What's the government? I mean, does that go against what the government told us?
A mask like this one cannot protect against the new coronavirus when used alone.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And a surgical mask, let's start with that one, does not protect you from from a respiratory virus. It's got leaks all around it, and it's really designed as a barrier protection for people in the operating room. That's why they call it a surgical mask. The N95, which is the one that people are buying up, important also to understand that that N95 mask, I have to be fit tested for it. I've got to make sure I've got a tight seal to wear it as a healthcare provider. The average person out there, the average citizen, that mask is not going to protect them. And as a matter of fact, in most cases, they're actually going to increase their risk of being contaminated with a virus when they're wearing that mask improperly.
A little confusing, right? I mean, so what are they saying now, and why is everybody saying that we should do it all of a sudden if the government was telling us months ago that we shouldn't? So there's more cases, right? Even though the deaths are still down and the curve on deaths is down, but we're doing a lot more testing. There's a lot more cases. So people want to do something so that we can feel like we have control over this. You know, I understand that. I'd like to feel like we have control too. So what should we do? I mean, what does Fauci say now?
A month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying, you don't really need to wear a mask.
Wait, who was saying?
Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed.
So we told wait, no, that was not misleading. That was a bold-face. I think that was what you would call a bold-faced lie by the government. I'm pretty clear that that's what that looks like. So what do we do now? What do you guys think? Do we just make everybody wear a mask and social distance? But what about, I think goggles. I think we need a mask and goggles because like we don't want that to be unshielded. Probably maybe some earmuffs too. It's gonna be hard to communicate in the stores.